always keep it straight, no matter if it's late. Bigger and bolder. Niggas try to ice me out, I'm riding the shoulder. I'm mature and I'm older. I've been seeing it clearly. All the hate and the envy, all the axes don't tempt me. I've been working this patiently, staking out all their action. Cause their words don't mean nothing. No, their worth isn't worthy. I'm not asking for nothing. I'm just keeping it coming. It's the poor man's result. Man, I'm leaving with something. Man, I'm leaving with something. Worthy of some joy. Been depressed before. All I want is to explore. I'm worthy what I want, not just what I need. It will help me with the bleeding. Worthy of the bell. Doing this on myself. I've been doing this with no help. I'm worthy of the wait. Always keep it straight, no matter if it's late.
Yo, let me know if the sound is okay. I left my interface on for a while today, so there's a chance that the interface isn't working. But let me know if it's working or not. that's basically what about Isaac. We're live on Twitch right now. Sounds good? All right, beautiful. Kenny, Young Za, Carol Tile, Birkin, Tomato Headed Boy, Benji Alistair. What's going on? Hello, everybody. Carol says can't hear a thing. Are you trolling? Are you trolling or can you hear me? Let me know in the chat. I'm hoping you're not trolling and that you can hear things. You can hear things? He's trolling. We're okay. Trolling is generally okay in here. But hey, everyone. What's good? Woo, we're back. Happy Monday. Oh, Tuesday. Fuck. Happy Tuesday. If you're in the chat, welcome back. If you have submitted your music and you... Yeah, I am the one the photographer's been texting on IG today. Pale Blue, what's going on? If you want to submit music, all you have to do is hit Command Submit. Caro Tile, let us know when you've submitted your music. We'll get you bumped up to the top of the queue. And then same thing with you, Jay Savant. Though I see you right here, so we're all good. J-Mac Vinyl's looking sexy. It is looking good, right? It's looking real nice back there. My Name Isn't. Debut on vinyl. Go get it. Benji just said resub with Amazon Prime. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Though I don't see it. Oh, there it is. There it is. So if you've never been in here before and you're here for the first time, I will explain what this is, what I do, who I am, all that good stuff very shortly. But if you have been here before, then you know how it works. Subscribe, gift a sub, you'll get bumped into our priority queue marked in orange. You don't have to do that. Every 5 priority subscriber submissions, I will bump somebody up for free at random using our lovely spinning wheel, which I don't currently have pulled up. There's a couple things that we're going to do before we get started tonight. Solomon Heaton, what's good? Welcome to the chat. We'll wait for a couple more of our community members to get in here. But today, I'm going to be doing a couple things. So I'm going to be announcing the winner of the fucking contest that I was running with the Digilog for a performer in New York. This one, boom. We're going to announce the winner of this. Also, if you're in the Discord, our community playlist submissions are back open, so make sure you go in there. We did just drop a new update of the community playlist, which we are listening to right now, which you can go listen to on Spotify as well if you go hit the link that I'm putting in the chat for you guys. So, look, free opportunities left and right. Trying to give you as many as possible, okay? So make sure you tap in, make sure you take advantage of them. If you want to submit your music, all you have to do is follow this link right here in the chat. Hit ! Submit at any point, and that's going to pull that up for you. It is a free submission form. But if you want to skip the queue and get bumped up into our priority queue, which is here marked in orange, the best thing you can do is subscribe or get the sub, and that'll get you bumped up to the top of the queue, just like Corserine, Jay Savant, and Benjamin Alistair, who are all subscribers, gifted subscribers, or resubscribers. So those are the options. If you want to guarantee you get played on stream today, the best thing you can do is subscribe or gift a sub. That will get you bumped up into that priority queue marked in orange. If you don't want to spend money, that's fine. Every 5 priority subscriber submissions will bump somebody up at random using this spinning wheel that we have right here. And then the last 30 minutes will be dedicated to people who are in the chat hanging out with us, taking part. So there's options. We're trying to do as many free things as possible. Speaking of free things, like I said, the Discord, go join that. We do have our community playlist submissions back open. Those will be open until October 8th. So all you have to do is follow these rules, all right? Join the Discord. Submit in the community playlist submissions channel. Don't submit more than once. Spotify links only. I literally already had somebody send in a YouTube link today, and I just want you to know, if that was you, don't fucking do that. It's gonna get deleted. It can't count. It's not a Spotify link. It says it right here. Spotify links only. Please don't send me a non-Spotify link for a Spotify playlist. That makes no sense. If you are already a subscriber, then you would need to either gift a sub to somebody else or resubscribe. If you're an automatic resubscriber, let me know. You get one free bump every month. That is on a honor system. Please do not lie to me. I'm tired today, and I'm not here for the lies. Paul, I do consultations, yes. And if you are interested in consultations with me, please let me know, and I will send you rates and services via DM. So please feel free to hit me up if that's something that you are interested in. For everybody who's here for the first time, let me explain what this is, what I do, why we do this. So, my name is Kayvan. Obviously, I run the Kayvan's House community and page. That is a Discord and Instagram page, which we do try and support independent emerging artists through, and especially community members through as well. So we have things like our community playlist, which updates every single month. It is a submission-based thing. All you have to do is be in the Discord to submit your music for it. We have our At Home With interview series, which is for members of the community and also just artists that I'm a fan of and friends of the community as well. Oh, let's chat, Kenny. I love it. We also have our songs we found in the comments, content series and playlist series, which you can enter for if you just go put your song in the comments. I'm listening to all of these. I've already playlisted a bunch of stuff. We're gonna drop a new content piece every single week. We have our new Music Who This playlist, which updates every single Friday. If you want to submit for this, all you have to do, again, is go to the link in my bio, hit the releases, the release calendar, fill that out, put your upcoming releases in there. I check that every Friday. That is one of the first things I look at when I'm looking for new music to playlist on a Friday, especially for the new Music Who This playlist. And that is a content piece as well, where I kind of highlight some of those songs too. Luzier will get you bumped up into the priority queue. Somebody said they resubbed a minute ago. Isaac Mather, I'll just wait for as soon as I get a notification on that, I got you. If you don't see it pop up in the next few minutes, I will believe you. But let's give it a second, because usually it pops up as a notification and we will see it pop up on the screen. Okay, so yes, Kayvan's House page, go follow us. It's easy, it's free. All you have to do is enter the things. I try to make as many entry-based, submission-based playlists as possible. One, because I do enjoy going through submissions and listening stuff. Isaac, I believe you. If it went through in your bank, bro, if the bank notification's there, it's probably true. So we try and just do as many free playlists as possible. One of the things that I've seen as a distributor, and I'll explain what my day job is just basically that everybody is trying to get a budget out of artists all the time, and I just wanted to have as many free-based playlist opportunities and content opportunities as possible. The only reason we have a paid skip queue in here is just because people asked for it. So as people wanted it, so I gave it to them. That's literally it. So that's why we have it in here. Again, it's not something you don't have to do it. It's just if you want to guarantee you get played on stream, it is the best way to guarantee it, because I will, if you spend bread, I'm going to make sure that we play you before we get off, without a doubt, okay? And that's just how I kind of do things. But that being said, every 5 priority subscriber submissions, you'll see one of these little orange bars. This is a free bump. We'll do it from our spinning wheel at random from the submission form. So please submit, even if you're not trying to spend money or get played, guarantee a play. We don't get to every song. These red ones are the ones we didn't get to last stream. The green ones are the ones we did get to, and we usually get to about 35 to 40 songs a stream. So there you go. Last 30 minutes will be dedicated to people who are in the chat. We'll try and get as many songs as possible for free, but we'll only listen to about 60 seconds, maybe to a minute and a half of those songs. We'll just try and get through as many as possible, okay? So, Kayvan's House, Discord, submissions, all that shit. We do all of it, okay? In my day job, and the reason that I do this, so my name is Kayvan Darragay. I am the director of A&R at Genius Distro. I've been a Genius for the last 8 years, doing verified, deconstructed, open mic, branded content, live events, all kinds of things that are artist and talent facing. But about 2 years ago, we launched a distribution company. We've been signing artists and putting out projects through Genius, using it as a platform to help amplify what you guys are doing. We do focus on independent and emerging artists for the most part. And I've signed 6 or 7 artists from this community to distro deals so far. So Ashoka, who you're listening to right now, this is PJ, his latest single. Serena, Chris Crack, Anton Now, CCBKE, Leia the Leo, Ajna Bray, whose manager Kenny is in the chat right now. My name isn't J-Mac. We're all people that I actually found in this stream first, and then went on to work with at Distro. So just know this is a way for me to find talent, see what you guys are working on, see how you develop after giving feedback. And that was kind of one of the reasons that I started this. I also manage artists. I've been an artist myself. I produce music. I'm a classically trained violinist. So I wanted to also create a feedback loop for artists to be able to get feedback on their music as they're working on it, as it's coming out. I'm playlisting things. I'm saving artists. I'm keeping an eye on things. And that's kind of the point of the stream. There's really only one rule in here. The one rule is for you to please be respectful of each other. If you're not being respectful of each other, I will call you out. It will be a thing. I will be a dick to you. I'm especially tired today after this travel that I just went through, so just know that I really will have no tolerance for rudeness in the chat today. Some days, we have some tolerance. Today, there will be none. So please just be kind and respectful to each other. That's it. I wanted to just create a space where you guys can send music in, get feedback on things that are out or not out, so we can help artists develop, grow, and hopefully improve over time, okay? So those are kind of the things that we do in here. That's kind of the point of what we do. Before we get started, I have one thing to announce. So, about 2 weeks ago now, I dropped this content piece.
Listen up. Today I'm teaming up with our good friends over at the Digilog to provide one lucky artist from our community the opportunity to perform live at the Artist Discovery Showcase in New York City on October 15th. The lucky winner will be announced live on Twitch from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern Time on September 25th
not yesterday,
during our usual music feedback streams. We'll get to perform with artists like Daisha McBride, Abby Jasmine, Sight, Cedric Brazil, and Shelby Carter. If you want to enter, all you have to do is hit the link in my bio and fill out the form that's
anyway,
there.
You get the gist.
I'll be going
you get the
through all
gist. So we did it. We got a bunch of submissions. Honestly, shout out to every artist who did submit for this and enter for this. I really do appreciate you guys taking part, sending music in, and especially for the people who literally followed the instructions and did what they were supposed to do. There were a couple people who didn't, if I'm being honest. There was like one artist who was like, I'm based in Zambia. I'm not available. And I was kind of like, all right, well, that is kind of pointless for you to submit then if you can't come to the show in the first place. And there were a couple people who didn't send in performance videos and stuff like that. But whittled it down from like 65 submissions down to like 5 or 6 maybes, and then eventually just settled on this one artist that absolutely blew me away. And the reason that he blew me away was this performance video that I'm going to play first. So I do, proud to announce, happy to announce the winner of this contest is Solomon Heaton, who's an amazing R&B artist, originally from North Carolina, now based in Atlanta, which I also thought was very cool, having lived in North Carolina for a while in high school, and my parents still live there as well. But I saw this video. It was literally like immediately this thing where I was like, yo, this artist right here, this performance right here, I think this is the winner. So, Solomon Heaton, Lose. This is the reason that I picked him. And I think you guys will all get it while watching this video. So let us know what you think in the chat. We'll get into the music feedback in a second. But first things first, Solomon Heaton, this is Lose. A real, true live performance. No tuning on the vocal. And he's gonna hit some notes later on in this performance that are gonna give you chills. All right. Well, luckily this video is about 4 minutes long, Caro, so I think you'll be back. And I'll pull up the socials as we go. One of the things in here is we do want you guys to give feedback on songs too, so let us know what you think. Reminds me of Leon Thomas's Psycho.
Yeah. And you want me, babe, but will it be the same? In this whole love thing, I'm always left with nothing. And you learn from the past, but enough to make it last.
And I am an R&B head, so for me this just felt like a no-brainer, guys.
But what do we have to lose? Oh, baby, tell me what?
Yeah, he's got that sauce, says Benji Alistair. I agree. I agree wholeheartedly.
Yeah. Second verse right here. I was exactly who you
And I honestly, I can't wait to see him perform live. After watching this video, is one of those things where I was like, yo, I can't wait to see this in a live setting. Audience there. Just wait. Second half of this, when he starts to get into the runs, too, you guys are going to be like, holy shit. Of course he won.
Same in this whole love thing, I'm always left with nothing. And you learn from the past, but enough to make it last.
And Solomon, I am going to make an announcement video about this tomorrow as well. That one right there. I have chills right now. My hairs are on end.
And you want me, babe, but will it be the same in this whole love thing?
Leno says, sheesh.
Nothing, and you learn from the past, but enough to make it last.
Joe in Paradise says, congratulations, bro. This is fire. Truthfully, I did have a hard time. There were a lot of really great submissions. I did have about 8 people that I was really torn on, including other community members as well. Guno was in there, and I had a really hard time picking with some people. But it was this performance video specifically that really sold me. I mean, he's hitting these fucking notes sitting down, bro. What are we talking about? Anyway, singing. I have to be honest. I think the smoothness of the runs. There was not one note that went off. Like, there was absolutely nothing pitchy about it. Like, this dude hit this performance so hard. Anyway, so congratulations to Solomon Heaton. And just so you guys know, this wasn't like a socials thing. This wasn't like a numbers thing. Solomon's at a solid 9,000 followers. You know what I mean? He's definitely a rising artist. And to me, it was just one of those things where I saw it, I heard it, and I was like, you know what, man? Like, this shit right here is the perfect fit for this show. And so thank you again to everybody who submitted for it. You know, it was hard. There was like I said, solid like 7 to 8 really, really great submissions that stood out the most. And I had a hard time between the top like 4, but I think after watching that performance, you know, like I thought about it for a while and it just felt right. And so that was it. I'll show you guys some of the other submissions as well, probably throughout the stream, because there was some that were very good. And I would love to still highlight those artists. I'll probably make a little playlist that just highlights some of my favorite submissions from that as well. But congratulations to Solomon Heaton. Dude, you are an absolute beast, and I can't wait to see you perform live in New York. I'll connect you with the Digilog team tomorrow. I just got a little busy at work today. And I'm also going to make a video just announcing the winner as well. So you guys will see that going up on the gram and on TikTok and stuff tomorrow. So yeah, that was it. All right, so now let's get into the main event. If you have subscribed or gifted a sub, you will get bumped up into the priority queue. Let me know if I've missed anyone. I think the only person who needs to get added is Snow Asta, who I do not see a submission from yet. So Snow, just let me know when you've turned it in. Again, if you subscribe or gift a sub, that is a guarantee you'll get played on stream today. You'll get bumped into our priority queue marked in orange. That is a guarantee we'll listen to your music before the end of the stream. Though, if you don't want to spend money, that's totally fine. Just stick around, hang out with us. Last 30 minutes will be dedicated to people who are in the chat, and every 5 priority subscriber submissions, we will bump somebody up at random from the chat as well. I'll be pulling up socials as we go, so please follow the artists. If you hear something you like, we are starting with Carcerine today. This is Girl, I Want You Bad. Let us know what you think in the chat. And make sure you go follow Solomon. I mean, look, I'm going to try and figure out something else. Solomon, I actually was thinking I might have you do the At Home With interview series as well if you're down. And I'll send you the information for that. It's super chill. Like, you just have to do it in your own time at your crib. And I wanted to ask you where you're from in North Carolina, too, because that was kind of nice. Oh. Another very Justice-coded, Daft Punk-coded, little French house vibe to it. This is Girl, I Want You Bad by Carcerine. This is like, all right, you go to a vinyl bar, you go to a bar that's playing like Japanese electronic music or like city pop. This is what you hear at the bar. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the type of music that you hear at that bar. Isaac Mathis says, this is crazy. Loses says, I love this. His Instagram is Corserine3000, so make sure you go follow if you're rocking with it. Benji Alice says this is a vibe, groovy. I read a J-pop blog, Natch. I'm dead. Real Funky says Roaming More. This has got a real nice bounce to it. Yo, you gotta start putting some of this music out, bro. This is not on Spotify. This is the problem that I have with Carcerine every week. The music is very good. I just need it to start coming out so we can start supporting it. I do think there's a lot of people who would really like this a lot. Truly a gem. Look, this is why I do this. I love finding stuff before everybody else. I love finding these hidden gems and bringing them to the light. And to me, this is wonderful. What up, Sosa baby? For everybody who's in the chat, let us know what you think. Let us know where you're at in the world. And let us know what you've been working on as well. I've been out since last Monday, and I feel like I missed a lot. What have you guys been working on? Hula says we'd playlist this tomorrow. It's a fact. I'd playlist this right now. On this stream, you'd get playlisted immediately. Cross Ring 3000. This weirdly feels like a little bit of an anime soundtrack to me as well. Hey. Sosis is working on my first tape right now. That's exciting. I'm hampered by a label that drags their heels. Well, that's not good. That is not good at all. And I hope that you figure that out. Even if that means maybe getting off the roster and finding another place that'll release his music quicker. Because I do think you've got some really, really great songs in the tuck right now. And everything you said, like, it's like truly, like everything you've sent over this year feels like so advanced from the stuff you were sending over last year. And it just feels like you've progressed. The song structure is good. The mixes are really great. Yeah, like you might need to, honestly, like, and that's tough too, because sometimes, like, obviously it kind of comes down to contracts and whatever your agreement with the label is. But I've been in a situation where we've been signed to a label and you just get benched and you get stuck there. And it is the most frustrating thing ever. You just kind of get stuck. You took jazz class. Oh, I love that. Jordan Paradise is not my style usually, but sheesh, different disco type song. Feel like I should be rolling through Los Santos listening to this. I also agree. Really, really great sync music and could do really well in video games and stuff like that. To me, it's got kind of like a cyberpunk-esque kind of feel to it, which I really enjoy. Roaming Moore says, I'm on the same boat as Sosa Baby, working on my first EP as an artist. I usually put out instrumental albums. That's exciting. Isaac Mathis said, I've been super busy with content creation and just made 2 new songs recently. I've been busy because I've been producing for a really big TV show. Oh, that's fucking cool. Check the Rhyme. What's up, man? Welcome back. Happy Monday or Tuesday, shit. Happy Tuesday. I hope you had a good weekend and a good week last week. We've got our second one of the night coming up now. Jay Savant. This is I'm Alright. This is an artist I've really enjoyed over the last few months. At first, wasn't sure about production choices. He shifted into a more contemporary production style, and it's been fucking cool. So enjoy. It's great R&B music for you guys again. A boy named Bobby, what's up? Welcome in for the first time. The vocals sound really good on this one already. Isaac Mathis said there are some gems in this community. Look, this is why I do this. So we can put these gems in front of you. You guys can collaborate and help each other. Because it is easier when there's a community backing you, as opposed to trying to push everything yourself and figure it out yourself. Oh, bro, welcome in. It was great meeting you, too. Now I know exactly who you are. I wasn't sure for a second. Well, welcome in. Vocal layers are really nice. I don't know if I like the flangey metallic effect on the vocal, personally. If you've been in it for a while, you know that is like a sound on a vocal that I don't particularly love. Doesn't necessarily mean there's anything wrong with it. If you are in the chat, let us know what you think, especially if you have production or engineering experience. That is what we are here for. We always want to know what you guys think of these songs as well. Check the Rem says, I like this, but more singing, less effects, in my opinion. Reminds me of Sir a little bit on this one. I truly, like, I think if you take that flange, I think if you take the flange metallic effect off, it doesn't take away from how good the vocal is. Actually, to me, kind of highlights it a little bit more. Runs are nice. All right, Bobby, who is a great producer, by the way, so you should listen, says, love the effect, but think it needs contrast. Maybe that vibe hits in the chorus or bridges in other moments. Hard contrast with it, like a filtered, dry thing. Totally fair. I could see it maybe coming in at times and it having more of an effect. I think when it's on it throughout, it becomes a little bit too much. But again, like, I am historically a hater of a flange or a metallic effect on a vocal in general, so just keep that in mind when you get that feedback from me. All right, if you are rocking with us, again, look, A big part of this is going to follow and support the artist when you hear something that you do like. And sorry, you guys are going to get an ad if you're not a subscriber in 55 seconds. So just be aware that that's coming. Underscore J Savant on Instagram. Make sure you go follow. I will say the songwriting's been really solid. Vocal delivery and the vocal style is really nice overall. And this step into the more contemporary production style, I think, has been a huge jump forward, at least for me, and listening to the music and being a fan of it. So just keep that in mind. Leno says, I like flange chorus effects on Don Toliver and Travis Scott sounds good. If psychedelic style, kind of like this song, You. I think if it stylistically makes sense, sure. I don't really have as much of an issue with it. I think for me, a lot of times, though, it feels like it's kind of out of place on the songs that it's put on. And I think when you do have a really, really strong vocal tone and vocal range and delivery, it doesn't necessarily need it. And if anything, it maybe just hides how good your vocals actually are. That's all. And I think that's why I kind of lean into that more often than not anyway. It's like, if you don't need tuning, don't use tuning. But if you do, use it. Benjamin Allister up next. New EP out now. Tap in. All right, let's see what's up. And again, if you do want to submit your music, command submit, exclamation mark to submit if you want to skip the queue. Subscribing or gifting a sub, which will also give you ad-free viewing, will get you bumped up into that priority queue marked in orange, which is a guarantee that we'll play a song before the end of the stream. Deja Vu, Benjamin Allister up next. Let us know what you think in the chat. I did listen to this EP the other day. I like that you leaned into the more dancey sound overall. It's a very cohesive project start to finish. It's the Illuminated EP for those of you who haven't checked it out yet and are interested in it. Right Now and Late Night were two songs that really stood out to me from this one. And I don't know if I put anything in the New Music Who This playlist. And I think my thought process while I was listening to it was mostly that I felt like the lead vocal, rapped vocal, was just a touch dry. And it might have been somewhat around the delivery as well. I think I maybe felt like the production was just a little bit more fun than the delivery style was, and I wish that you had a little bit more fun with the delivery, if that makes sense. And again, as always, this is just my opinion, so take it with a pinch of salt. What I'm saying does not necessarily mean that it's the absolute facts of everything. But I think for me, when I was listening through it, that was kind of the first thing that kind of popped into my head as I was listening. And it might also be because this featured vocal is so airy and there is kind of so much reverb and space around it. That also might have been a little bit of that sound to me. Luza says, this is a jungle feel when they have the Eric the Alchemist on their songs. The concept sounds nice, just needs more polishing. I think that's how I felt. You know, it's like, I like the style. I think the direction fits Benjamin's voice really, really well. I think it's just getting closer to that delivery style. That's all. And I do think Pell is a really, really good reference point for you, even with delivery style and vocal mix. But overall, a really cohesive EP. So if you are looking for something that feels a little bit more dancey, feels a little bit more up-tempo, then this whole EP actually feels pretty good. Late Night for me is one that we did playlist a couple times in a couple different playlists that we have throughout the release of this. I would agree with what Luza said too. That part right there was more of a standout. I think it's just the consistency of that delivery style and the vocal tone. But just have a little bit more fun with it. It's such fun music, you know what I mean? I feel like you really have to embody that in the vocal delivery, and I felt like at times it didn't really give as much of that as I was hoping for. But that being said, congratulations on the EP release. I do think, like, overall, the fact that it is such a cohesive piece of art, and like all the way through, there is kind of that through line of this is going to be a fun, dancey project, especially from a production standpoint, was one of the things that did really stand out to me. So guys, make sure you go follow and support. Let me just pull up his Instagram because everything wants to not work. Benjamin, it is Benjamin Allister, right? Yeah. All right. Sorry. What are we doing here, man? My computer's turned on me. All right, Benjamin Allister _ on Instagram. Make sure you go follow. I really do like, I will say, the creative direction for the artwork and the overall vibe of like everything aesthetically, I do really like. Like, I do think the visual representation is really good on this. But for me, it was like mostly in the delivery and in the vocal mix where I just felt like, all right, a little bit more energy, a little bit more fun, and it would have really hit it for me. All right, next up, Bend the Page by Luza. This is our first time listening to Luza, so let us know what you think in the chat. Also, let me know if I'm saying it wrong. I don't want to just be over here calling you a loser for no reason. All right, let us know what you think in the chat. I think for me, off rip, one of the first things I hear is the master feels a little bit quiet, and that could be the Spotify compression algorithm, but it is something to keep an eye on. Song is produced by myself, produce all my music. I have an EP coming out September 30th. That is really cool. It's a loser. Okay, perfect. L00ZIR, loser on Instagram if you're rocking with us. Yeah, I would say, seeing as you are self-producing and self-mixing this, just keep an eye out on the master of making sure that you're kind of accounting for the Spotify algorithm. I think if you Google it, it'll tell you exactly how much it'll bring it down. But I notice this on a lot of songs. This is not just a thing for you. It's just something that everyone kind of needs to think about when they're mastering, especially for streaming. Compression, algo. So, minus 14 lufs or minus 11 lufs. It's like somewhere in there, but you can totally find this. Like, this is just stuff you can Google, and it'll help you when you're actually thinking about your mastering as well. Okay? The other thing that I would say in the mix, and I say this to a lot of vocalists, is just make sure that your vocal is the star of the show. I think the way that it sounds to me right now in headphones is that the production work is still a little bit louder than the vocal. Yeah, also depends on genre too. Thank you for letting me know this song slightly old. My vocal chain for mixing has changed since, so hopefully next time you hear my... Beautiful. And that, please continue to send me music, because honestly, that is the story most times. And it's just a part of the journey. That's like the process, I think, of learning to mix and master your own music and putting music out. You just improve over time, and the more you do it, the easier it gets, the more you dial things in. The things that I hear in this, though, make sure that your vocal is the star in this mix. A good thing to do when you're referencing is turn your volume down really quiet. Those elements that kind of stand out the most usually are going to be the loudest elements in the mix, so that's something to keep an eye on. For me right now, listening to this way, it does feel like that kick and that snare kind of dominates the mix overall, and I would love to hear the vocal kind of be the star. It does feel really nice. From a writing and a vocal delivery standpoint, like, I do like what you're doing. It's nice. I can like hear the vocal stacks a little bit in there and the vocal harmonies, and those feel really nice. It's really just the mix that I think needs the most work, to be honest. Oh, let's get you out of here. Lots of things that I do like about this song, aesthetically. But I do think mix-wise, that's probably where I see the need for the most improvement. So just keep working on that. I mean, you're doing it yourself, so there's literally nothing wrong with that at all. I think it's just the process. I like the song. I like the overall feeling of it. But that mix, that master, those are the two things that I would kind of dig in a little bit on more, especially as you go towards the EP release. Luza, L00ZIR on Instagram. We've got Isaac Mather up next, and then we've got our first free bump of the evening. Again, submit your music even if you're not going to subscribe or gift a sub, because there's always a chance to get bumped up for free throughout the stream and towards the end of the stream as well. This is Somebody to Know by Isaac Mather. Let us know what you think in the chat, guys. Of course. That's what we're here for. Please continue to send music as well. Not knowing what it's like for someone here to know me. I like this already off rip. This one's not out yet. And one thing to keep an eye out for. The reverb delay feels like ever so slightly too much. For me personally. Like, I love it. It makes sense with it being a ballad that it would be really big and airy like that. It feels like ever so slightly too much. Alfro says maybe gate that reverb. I think that's a pretty good shout, honestly. It's really good on the background vocals. It's maybe a bit aggressive on the lead vocal, especially the tail of it. Careful on some of the plosives as well. Especially on F and P. And then maybe just add a vocal writer, just something to keep that vocal level consistent. It does feel at times it dips out and in, which, I mean, you know, dynamics aren't a bad thing, but I think just making sure it's consistent throughout would be good. It's a really good song, though. Isaac.Mather on Instagram. Really good pop ballad. No one does, like, you know, people don't do music like this as much as they should anymore. Feels like maybe a little bit of a Louis Capaldi influence here. Huh? Yes? No? Let us know what you think in the chat. Isaac.Mather on Instagram. It kind of reminds me of Kid Laroi a little bit. As far as like tonally goes. Yeah, I'm a big Louis Capaldi fan also. He's like one of my favorite artists that I've seen live. And I just love his music so much. Like his whole thing. I'm a big fan of his whole thing. This is cool. I mean, this song honestly feels like something that could sync in like a movie, a TV show, a commercial. It's pretty solid. He has Tourette's too. Yes, he does. And it's made worse when he's anxious, which obviously makes a lot of sense being on stage or touring or under a lot of stress. But if you haven't watched this documentary, you really should. The documentary was absolutely beautiful. And honestly, made me cry a couple times because it was just so beautiful and vulnerable and open and honest. That was Somebody to Know by Isaac.Mather. I really like that one a lot, man. I think it's just little things. It's little details. But overall, I'm a really, really big fan of that. Like, I love that it was a more of a ballad and slow and big. It could maybe have a moment. Like, I know it builds towards the end. But I think one of the things that Louis does really, really well is those, like, really, really big builds into these, like, huge orchestral moments as you get further into the song. And if anything, my only real feedback is that they could be more of a build, I think, on that last chorus. But again, it does sound really good, and I really like it the way it is, so I wouldn't change all that much. I think the biggest thing for me is just the tail on the reverb on the lead vocal. That's probably the only thing that I would say tone down a little bit. But other than that, yeah, I don't think it needs all that much. Oh, Kenny, you're a lucky guy. I don't know if you're still here, but Kenny's a lucky guy. We got Bray. We got some new Bray. So Bray, obviously, I was talking about before. An artist that I had signed to Genius Distro. After finding him on the stream here a couple years ago, we did, you know, a bunch of releases. I want to say we did like a full EP, and then we also did like 4 more singles. So I think overall like 12 songs we put out with Bray. And I'm just a big fan. Like, I just fuck with this kid. He's the nicest kid ever. Kenny, who's his manager, is also a super young, talented manager based out in LA, who also works at ATG, which is another distribution company that I also fuck with. They do a lot of really great work. But Bray, young Filipino artist based in LA, I just fucking love his music, bro. Like, I always have. He's got a great voice. Really, really cool when he does this high energy, kind of like dancey stuff. Like, we did some UK garage songs, and those all did really well. We did some like more like pop leaning things, but he's very like alt pop, right? So this is Decelerate V1. This is my first time hearing it as well. I got Kenny wants to talk to me. I got my fingers crossed he wants to do more. But this is Decelerate. Let us know what you think in the chat. I'm just a fan of this artist, man. Garage stuff is fire, I agree, but I love when he does this like alt R&B stuff too, honestly. Like, it hits for me. So let us know what you think in the chat. Shout out to Bray. We'll pull up the socials too. Braden, 8RAEDEN on Instagram. Did he self-produce this? Kenny, if you're in the chat still? I mean, this was like one of the things that caught my ear about Bray in the first place was a song called F Valentine's Day that definitely leaned into this space. It's the vocal layering that I really love, the harmonies I really love. He's got such a nice vocal tone overall. And this is still a rough, so I'm not going to judge the mix too harshly. I think the vocal stack sounds so nice though, so like lush. Let us know what you think in the chat. I'm obviously a fan. Simi S&D, let us know the artist name in the chat. We'll get you bumped up as well.
We'll see. Either way, our time was never wasted. So steep, you might catch it if you keep on racing. Freely, I'm passing on the love that I've been chasing.
Yeah, I fucking love this, bro. Leno says this part's smooth. Simi, all right, we'll get you bumped up. Thank you for the sub. Again, if you subscribe or get to sub, that will get you bumped into our priority queue marks in orange. I guarantee that we'll play a song on stream today before the end of stream. And this is Braden. The B is an 8. Pronounced Bray. So this is talented for sure. Super talented, bro. And he's got a great on-camera persona as well. Like, this is a cool kid, man. I like this guy. Goes to Disney a lot. We did a bunch of shit with him, man. Honestly, like, I had such a good time working with this kid. The videos are always clean as fuck. Shout out to Ian Anthony, who he works with quite a bit. Like, he's just, you know, he's got something. I think that was the thing that I saw initially from him, too, is like, he has fun with the music. He's a great writer. He's got a great voice. I wish he was more active on socials, but, you know, that is the story of a lot of artists in general. And guys, if you ever have questions about anything, please feel free to ask in the chat. Obviously, like, I've been working in music now for like 10 years, so I'm happy to share really like anything I've learned or any questions you have. Like, feel free to ask them. I try to make sure that, like, in this space, as much as you guys can get the information you're looking for without having to hire me for like a consultation, which I do if you really want to, that you can still get that information. I don't want to paywall any of that stuff. Best way to go about getting into ghostwriting: get into sessions with people, go to studio sessions, and pitch yourself as a writer. Keep a portfolio, and just connect with producers, honestly. Like, I think connecting with producers is one of the best ways to do it, because there's always producers who are looking for songs for pitching. Obviously, if you can get in with, you know, artists specifically in sessions, I do think that's kind of the best way to do it, at least to get a placement. But just slip one. Oh, let's go. Mad late is fine. Like I said, if you want to guarantee you get played on stream today, you can subscribe or gift a sub. It's like $5. If you don't have Amazon Prime, it's free if you have Amazon Prime. And that'll get you bumped up into the priority queue marks in orange. That's a guarantee you'll get played. But every 5 of those, you see this little orange bar, every 5 priority subscriber submissions, we'll bump somebody up at random for free using the spinning wheel. And then in about 45 minutes, we'll do 30 minutes of bumping people up from the chat for free. And usually in that section, it's like, you know, we'll do 60 seconds to like 90 seconds. Yeah, it's free. If you have Amazon Prime and you connect your Prime account to Twitch, you can actually subscribe to a channel for free. It's just included. And with the subscription, you get Discord subscribers only channel. So if you do want to ask me more questions in depth, you can. I'll answer them there. No one ever joins it, which is always very weird to me, but it's there if you connect your Discord to your Twitch account also. Ad-free viewing, emotes, which I'll put in the chat for you guys as well, which we made especially for the stream. You can use these throughout the chat as well. I think my dad still has it. I need to go steal his login. I have no problem with that. And then, yeah, like I said, if you don't get played on stream, there's also a bunch of ways you can get music in front of me. So even if it's not here, just keep that in mind. Paradise Jones and Alfaro up next. I did playlist something from this EP as well, but this is Yeah. This is from their Paradise Jones project, which is Alfaro and Jakey O. I think they have great chemistry. Definitely a like super underground sample-based hip-hop kind of vibe. So if you like that, I do think you'll like this one. And this is from the Paradise Jones EP, which just came out on the 17th.
I've been over here. Yeah, sorry I ain't seen you there. Wasn't an instance.
I do think the vocal could be a touch louder if I'm being super picky. But I also think, and I think that's why I playlisted older, because everything felt super balanced. But I did listen to the whole project, and I think the only real feedback that I had, even on the whole project, was just that the vocal could come up a little bit. So I do know aesthetically, this is kind of the sound that I feel like a lot of underground hip-hop artists go for. I think it was just the actual volume that I wish was a little bit louder, not necessarily the mix or anything like that. So. Of course, bro, of course. I was excited to see you guys drop the project as well. _Alfro_ on Instagram. Also a great producer, so if you are in LA and you're looking for producers to work with, I would suggest hitting Alfro up, especially if you're making this hip-hop stuff. And then Jake as well. Jake and I both agreed on slightly louder vocals once it was actually on streamers. Yeah, it's hard to, like, I think for everyone who's in here, just keep in mind, like, it's, you know, once you listen to a project so many times, it's easy to get fatigued with it just from, like, a listening standpoint and kind of lose yourself in it. So just something, in retrospect, it's always good to get this feedback and kind of come back to the next thing with that in mind. But I really enjoyed this project, like, on listening through it. Older is definitely my favorite song from this one, which is, you can find in our New Music Who This playlist. And I think it's mostly because the vocals just cut through in a different way. It's not even that they're louder, but I do feel like they kind of cut through in that mix just a little bit more. So for me, that's one that I really enjoyed. But definitely go check it out. Paradise Jones EP by Alfro and Jake E.O. I feel like you guys have such great chemistry when you make tracks, though. There's something really nice about it. Ramon, let me know the artist name in the chat. We'll make sure we get you bumped up into the priority queue as well. Next up, we've got Leno Prod with Pink Elephants. This is a new music video filmed in New York. It's track 5 of 15 on his new album, Till I Land, produced by himself and directed by Nefty Projects. So if you have videos, you can send them in. Just keep that in mind. This one's called Pink Elephants. Let us know what you think in the chat.
Okay. I'm just going to be walking down this way. I don't want to block people's view.
This one's a little quiet.
Yeah. I'll be walking solo. Okay.
And as always, let us know what you think in the chat.
Yeah.
I have really enjoyed Leno's videos so far from this project, too.
Yeah.
Wait, did you self-edit this video, too? Is that Tagalog? I do feel like the guitar solo that's playing on this beat slightly distracting. Seth, what's going on, bro? Welcome back. Welcome back. Happy Tuesday. Yes. Pangansinan dialect. Antole Balita is like, what's new? Oh, fire. Bobby, what you got for us today, bro? Let me know the artist name in the chat. I do wish you'd cut the guitar solo down on this beat ever so slightly. That's probably the thing that makes it feel a little messier than it is. Oh, I know Taylor Noel. That's funny. I know this artist already. I like the color grading on this, though it does feel at times maybe a little tough with just the lighting. Like, I think in these nighttime shots where the sun is kind of setting a bit more, the pink is naturally there. In some of the more like daytime shots when the sun is like really high in the sky, it doesn't quite hit the same way. That's maybe the only thing that I would say about the actual video itself and the edit on the video. Hold on. There's maybe a slight moment here where it doesn't. Also, this cut right here is a little messy, if I'm being super picky. Video editing is hard, though. I gotta be honest. Like, the fact that you've edited this yourself is great. Overall, the vibe of the video is really cool. I kind of wish you'd had more of the sunset shots in there, because I do think the sunset shots actually feel really good. I like the song overall. I do wish that the guitar solo was a little bit quieter within the production, though, because it is a little overpowering, especially when the vocals going at the same time. Like, even here when that guitar solo is not hitting as hard, like, this beat still feels really good.
That was really nice of those guys to invite me, but
always a fan of you. Always a fan of people putting anime clips in music videos or anime quotes in music videos or songs.
But there's just no way I can neglect our business. You don't understand. I've never been in a fist
Bro,
fight.
okay, so I've been thinking about watching this because they put it on Netflix recently. Is it worth watching? Let me know. I just finished watching Terminator Zero, and that was kind of hard. If you haven't watched Terminator Zero on Netflix yet, you probably should. And I just started watching Thousand Year Blood War, finally, which I'm very excited to get into, too. Cam says definitely watching. All right, then I'm going to watch it, because I keep seeing the previews and being like, you know what? This looks fucking tight. So yeah, to recap, overall, felt really good about that one. Big thing for me is the guitar solo and the production was a little overpowering of the vocal at times. And then on the video side, color grading, it's maybe doesn't make sense with the footage and the consistency of the lighting in the footage throughout. And that's the tough part, I think, about doing one color grade for an entire video as opposed to maybe having different tweaked versions of the color throughout for different scenes. But that's also a really difficult thing to kind of like achieve, if I'm being honest. I've not done it because I'm not a video editor, but from looking at it, that's probably the only things that really stand out to me that could improve. Outside of that, though, it's a solid, it's a solid effort. I have enjoyed the music overall from you so far from this EP, so I'm still gonna dive in and listen to it when it drops. We got Birkin up next. I'm trying out Bounce Trap. Since I like new genres, this one's like a Baby No Money type of song, but a little spin on my own. All right, let's see what happens. Bree Style ATL, let me know the artist name in the chat. We'll make sure we get you bumped up into the priority queue as well. We're going to keep things moving. We have 2 more priority subscriber submissions coming up, and then another free one from the submission form. So submit music, even if you're not going to be subscribing or gifting a sub, and hopefully we'll get you. Oh. Very Baby No Money coded. John, you got a second one for us today? Alright, we got lyrics too.
If we going silent, we go down. So we on the violence of the crowd. And I tell a mind if we allowed. And please leave a long voicemail at the dial. I'ma leave you all in
nice moments. I like the voicemail of the dial thing.
But take direction from the blind and now you're tripping on dreams. You think the way you need a fly standing over your peeps. I don't believe in that, but now I'm getting into beliefs.
The only thing that I would say, and I say this to artists a lot, there's a lot of I's and buts and you's and so's and ands. As a writer, I don't feel like those are necessary in songs for the most part. I understand rhythmically how they make sense in this song, but just from a songwriting perspective, that's where it feels a little wordy. I see, I like this part right here. It's a cool little flow switch right there. If I'm not reading the lyrics, because I think I'm just noticing that after reading the lyrics. If I'm not reading the lyrics, I maybe don't notice it as much, because rhythmically everything feels really nice and well-rounded.
Walking at the bar and I've been looking for the encore. Need to find a place to get the jumping like it's parkour. Doesn't matter what it be from Latin to the hardcore. I just need the girl shaking all of it like all fours. Let me find
the feeling of this overall is really high energy. I do like it. If I'm being really picky, I do think some of the songwriting could be a little bit stronger at times. But rhythmically, it's really nice. Delivery is really solid. I'll give feedback to dubstep. It's not my favorite genre, but I'll still give feedback. We can talk about sound design and stuff like that. Yeah, honestly, it's booking. There's a lot of things that I did enjoy about that. Yeah, we definitely love some Jersey shit. Don't worry, I listen to everything. That's why I'm always telling people, just send in whatever you want, because I'm seriously, I listen to all music all the time. I've signed and worked with artists in a bunch of different genres, so like, to me, genre is not necessarily something that's going to stop me from listening to something or enjoying it. If the music's good and it makes me feel something, it's good and it makes me feel something, and that's all that really matters. Let's get Bree Style bumped up into the queue as well. John, you gifted a second one. Just send a second song in. I want to make sure you get your money's worth, bro. We got Simi up next. Produced this song for my guy, Rosette. The vocals are all his. Production is mine. Hope you like it. I love when producers submit artists that they're working on. It's super exciting and interesting for me to hear things that way. But yeah, overall, bro, I did really like that one from Birkin. I think if I'm being really picky about the lyrics, it's just making sure that there's not like wasted words in there. And I think there are things that you maybe could have trimmed down that wouldn't have really affected the actual song and the context of the song at all. But with that, maybe for rhythmic purposes. And I think to me, that's maybe one of the things that I think about and look for in songwriting overall. And something I tell a lot of artists is like, try to say more with less. Rhythmically, I understand the reason for it. But if you can say more with less of those like connecting words, I do think that personally to me makes a better song overall. And especially for the listener too, like I think it makes it easier for them to understand and remember the lyrics sometimes when they're less wordy. But I do understand why, because like rhythmically it makes a lot of sense and it does fit syllabically. Is that the word? I don't know if that's the word. Acapella by Simi up next. Let us know what you think in the chat. Overall, though, great job. Energy was great. Production was really cool too. So I'm nitpicking here. Like you don't have to change anything. All right, Simi. Let's see what's up. A little bit quiet on the master to begin with. I don't know if there's a fade in happening. It's maybe too long of a fade in, I would say, just for a passive listener. Oh, I like that this is in Spanish. Simi S&D on Instagram. All right, so the bass is absolutely knocking. The melodic elements of the production get a little lost behind that sub. So that's just something to keep in mind, I think, as a producer. Rhythmic elements are definitely bringing the rhythm. Melodic elements are really, really hard to kind of like get from this. On Rosette's side from the vocal, I think there's times where the timing could be a little bit more on with delivery. Moments where it feels like it's a little bit off from like where that beat's going, and because it's such a driving rhythmic force, it feels like it needs to be on. I can't comment on the lyrics so much because I don't speak Spanish. If I'm being honest, my Spanish is fucking horrible. So if anybody in here speaks Spanish fluently, and they can comment on the lyrics, let us know what you think in the chat. As always, we want to know what you think of these songs. Kind of reminds me of that one Bad Bunny song that I do really love, which I'm not going to play because I'll get DMCA'd, but it is, just for your reference. It's off of this one. Monaco, I think? Is that right? I think it's Monaco. Which I think came out as a single too, right? Or maybe it was on preview. Or Where She Goes. Was it Where She Goes? Fuck, I like so many Bad Bunny songs. I think that is right. I think it's Where She Goes. Is that right? I might have to get DMCA'd for a second just to fucking prove what I'm talking about. So yeah. A little quiet on the intro because it's that melodic element, but I think that's the big thing, is the melodic element of the production. It's this song. So you can hear those synths, right? Even in that song, you can hear the melodic aspects of the synths really punch through and really like be there and present. And I think that's really the only thing that I can point to in this that really stands out to me, is just like some of those melodic synth elements get buried behind the sub. So it's just finding that balance. And then in the vocal, it's just timing more than anything. Submission is unreleased remix I finished last night. Any idea how long the queue is? Yeah, I can tell you exactly how long the queue is. We've got one more priority subscriber submission. Then we're going to do a free bump from the submission form using our spinning wheel. Then we've got another 4 more priority subscriber submissions after that. And then we'll do, hopefully, well, maybe there'll be another sub after that. I don't know. We'll see. But right now, there's 4 more in the priority subscriber queue, 5 more in the priority subscriber queue. So if you subscribe or gift a sub, that'll get you bumped up. That's a guarantee you'll get played on stream today. But if you don't want to spend money, that's totally fine. Stick around. Every 5 priority subscriber submissions will bump somebody up from the chat for free. And then you gifting a sub to somebody else would count, just because the person who gifted it is the one spending money. But then the last 30 minutes of the stream, which are in roughly 30 minutes from now, well, usually 30 to 45. I mean, 30 to 50, and it really depends on how many subs we get. But once we get through all the subs, we'll start doing free bumps from the chat. And if you are here hanging out in the chat with us, that is another chance for you to get bumped up. It's more of a rapid fire mode, so we might not listen to the song all the way through, but we'll still give feedback. We'll still pull up socials. I usually find a lot of stuff that I playlist and artists that I follow during that section too. So stick around. There's always options to get bumped up further on. This is Taylor Noel with Loser. This one was submitted by a boy named Bobby in the chat, who is a producer out of Nashville, Tennessee, Bobby Nepa. We'll pull up socials in a second, but this one's from Taylor Noel. The song is called Loser. So let us know what you think in the chat. Also, bro, I didn't know that you worked with Dreamer Boy. I've known him since he was a rapper named Zach Taylor back in the day. I put him on like one of my first showcases in Nashville. And he used to come over to my house, and we would just chill and listen to music and play Mario Party. So when I saw that, I was like, oh shit, we really do have a ton of mutuals, bro. I feel like we probably met back then as well then. You might have even come to my house if you were roommates back then, bro. Oh, I love this. Mix master on this is absolutely perfect. I have no feedback on that. We probably did. Taylor Noel on Instagram. Vocals sound great. Yeah, I don't even know anymore. It's been so long since then. Ugh. Let us know what you think in the chat, but... And for anybody in here who is looking for producers to work with, especially if you are in Nashville, this is the producer right here. Woo. Doing Paradise is every time I come here I discover I like more than just rap. Look! Music is music. Genre is not all that important. Yeah, I love this. When does this drop? A king called Pedro says this is fire. Let us know what you think in the chat. And if you are and have releases coming out, just make sure you put stuff in our release calendar, which I just dropped a link in the chat for you guys as well. Cam says this is a great vibe. Guitar tone is so nice on this. Yeah, we just followed Taylor as well on Instagram. Taylor Noel. John says this is crazy good. Lo-fi junkie on guitar. It's nice though. There's so much of a bounce in the way the guitar is done too. Like, I like that the drums aren't overcomplicated, but they've still got this groove. Oh, it's a pedal. Let's look it up. For anybody who's wondering what the pedal on the guitar is, this is the pedal on the guitar. More of the solo. I love the pan on the solo too. It creates so much space. Super, super tasteful guitar solo, honestly. EP sounds great too. I'm a hoe for the auto pan. Me too. When I'm making beats, I'm also a bit of a hoe for the auto pan. I can't lie. Whoa, dude. Yeah, this is filthy. The mix on the drums is so nice too. That moment back there a second ago, where they were like super reverby and crunchy, just like... You know, all the elements go so well together on this track. From a production standpoint, all the instrumentation goes so well together, and then the vocals just sit in this really, really nice, like just warm and kind of like airy, dreamy space. I really like this one a lot. Definitely let me know when this comes out. It's definitely getting playlisted and supported without a doubt. Taylor Noel on the vocals, Bobby Neppa with a K on the production. Great, great job. Thank you so much for sending that in. I really, really thoroughly enjoyed that. Let's put our spinning wheel to work and see who's getting bumped up for free. Again, let's give it a quick update. Who's it gonna be? Bruh, please keep sending me stuff you're working on too, because your shit is fire. I really enjoyed. I like that we got this super Greek music on the spinning wheel. I'm glad you're having a good time. Honestly, I have such a good time finding music this way. Akinola Pedro up next. Let's see, where is that? Akinola Pedro. And let me know if I ever say anyone's name wrong, please tell me. And if you are in the chat, let us know where you're watching from. The song's unreleased. We got an unreleased Audiomack link. That works. That is rare. Shout out to my Audiomack people, but these private links never fucking work for me. I always have a hard time with them. New edition, Saint, out of Washington, D.C. Let us know what you think in the chat. Did I say it right? Akinola? I like this already. It's a little experimental.
She is the one. Give me that. What?
Oh. Oh. A king called Pedro on Instagram.
So I see. Hold up. You might be. Hold up. My wifey. Goddamn. Here's my first pretty. I'll try to put.
Ooh, says this one's crazy too. Cam says, love how this dropped. I love how it dropped too, bro.
In my game, but no flag on the plane. In your universe,
a little heavy on the low end, especially around the kick and the bass. But kind of in a nice way. Check the rhyme, says Bull is hitting his two-step in his bedroom right now. It's true. He probably is. I wish the vocal was ever so slightly louder in this mix. Especially on some of these more quietly delivered moments. John 47 says, drop this ASAP. When is it coming out? Oh, we're the first to hear it. Guys, we are the first to hear this one. A world premiere. Sorry, I wanted to do a world premiere. But I didn't have it in me. I love the vocal layering on this. And I love the way you're playing with your vocal in the delivery too. Lots of things I really like about this. Slight tweaks in the mix, I think, to maybe accentuate more of the vocal. I think maybe that synth bass is probably the loudest part. That's what my turn it up was about. Sounds good, but can't tell if the mixer enunciation needs the work. When's it coming out? I know that. I know that life. Look, for everybody who's in here as an emerging or independent artist, I'm gonna give you one piece of advice right now. Don't drop music between Thanksgiving and New Year's. It's not worth it. Save it for Q1 next year or drop it before Thanksgiving. And make sure you upload things with enough time in advance. Alright, well, we're connected now, bro. Feel free to ask whatever questions you want. Very cool. Akinola Pedro. A king called Pedro. A king with a K called Pedro. Kallld Pedro on Instagram. Make sure you tap in. I love that you're from DC too. I feel like every time I hear something that's from the DMV, which is DC, Maryland, Virginia, for those of you who don't know, I'm always really impressed by it. Like, you guys have a really, really cool and vibrant music scene there. Rahman, Getaway, Subhanallah. A little Arabic for you. I probably pronounced that terribly. 100,000 views, 3 weeks, bro. That's really great. Love DC, grew up in... Oh, what part? Yeah, follow unlocked, says Cam Murdoch. What part of VA? McLean? I don't know where McLean is, honestly. Woo! Yusef, what's good? Yo, this shit came in. Holy shit, yeah, this is about to get saved on Spotify as well. Video's clean, I really like the song a lot. Algorithm was in my favor for this one when it dropped. It's like that sometimes. This goes crazy. Holy shit, says Bobby. So much good stuff. Look, that's why I do this. The submissions are actually so strong, and we get stuff at every level, which is one of my favorite parts about the stream too. Is like, we get stuff that's like from artists who are just starting out, just dropping their first songs, just figuring out what type of music to make, all the way to stuff that is a little bit more established, and from artists who've been doing this for a while. And I think it's a great way to also just show representation to different artists, to be like, look, like, this is what you can do if you continue to work at it. And there are things you can learn from artists who are further along, and things that can be learned from artists who are earlier on in their careers too. So it's really cool that we get this kind of level of music and music video production as well, because this video is clean as fuck. And also we get stuff from all over the world, which I think is really cool. Ramon, where are you based again? Shout out to whoever did this video too. Pixel. Shout out to Pixel. Great job on this video. I like the combination of using like projected visuals in the background with camera movement, great lighting, especially with this like kind of like water effect going on in the writing in that one scene. You're in New York? I feel like I didn't know that for some reason. having one dancer is actually like a really nice touch to it. Breaks up the video a little bit. The consistent color grading throughout is a really, really nice thing too. We shot this in LA in May. It's a big ass LED screen. It's really well done. I like this a lot. Did you submit this for like the EMEA playlists and like curators and stuff like that? So I feel like anybody who supports like Middle Eastern or North African like artists would also really like this a lot. I guess I'm assuming that you are Middle Eastern, right? Or North African. So yeah, like Spotify has like a whole section of like when you're doing your Spotify for your Bangladeshi, oh well then there's also a bunch of South Asian like platforms and places that support South Asian artists. So just make sure you go look for those. The best thing that I can suggest is like going to look for other artists like in your niche. So like Hanuman Kind, go look at his tagged posts and kind of work backwards and focus on the ones that really focus on South Asian artists first and foremost. Like fucking, what's the other guy's name? KOD, which is like KAOD. Like any of like the Bangladeshi, Indian, Pakistani artists that are getting a lot of love on social. Which there's how do you say? Is it Coad? He's your boy. All right, so just like talk to him and ask him because he's been on a lot of those platforms that really do focus on supporting South Asian artists as well. Code. That's how you fucking say it. But like go look at their tagged posts and then kind of work backwards. I do that for a lot of artists when I'm starting out working with them and I'm thinking about like how do I get them into the right like audience, and usually what I'll do is kind of work my way backwards by looking at like, all right, who are some similar artists, even if that's on Spotify, and kind of like looking at what playlists they're in, what platforms are covering them, and then I'll start reaching out to those people by working backwards. So specifically for you, because you do have a niche that is very specific, and right now there are a lot of South Asian artists that are getting a lot of love on socials, I would just start working backwards from that and start pitching to them. But like Kids Take Over would be a good one, because Arshan also is South Asian, and like I just think like if you can work backwards and kind of use that as leverage for you while you're pitching to people too, there are going to be a lot of people who like honestly resonate with that part of your story and want to support because you're a part of the community as well. KTO, he has some like account managers. You should reach out to them first and foremost before you reach out to Arshan directly, because like those account managers are going to be the ones who are looking at things. But also like don't be afraid to go comment on people's shit, bro. Like honestly, like for me, I'll say like 85%, maybe 90% of the placements that I've gotten when I'm first starting to work with artists or first starting to pitch artists to platforms, or it's the first time I've ever pitched an artist to a platform, a lot of that comes from the comments. Like a lot of these people just go look at comments and like use that as a way to find things. Damn, is this one going to play? I've been having this issue with Untitled where if it says syncing, it doesn't actually play because it's not fully uploaded yet. So if you just uploaded this to Untitled, I might need you to put it on SoundCloud for me really quickly. John, if you're in the chat, please do me a favor. Just re-upload that to SoundCloud and send me a private link. Untitled has this weird, and I've noticed this recently, it's a very recent thing, but like there's like a processing period where like after you've uploaded to Untitled, it takes fucking forever for it to process in a way that allows you to play it off the browser. I don't know what that's about. I gotta hit someone at Untitled about it and fucking bug them. Took a break for a month to focus on mental health. So look, that's fine. Everyone needs to take breaks. Like as much as like people want to say like you got to push your shit all the time, it's fine. You can take a break and you can come back. The promotion of a song doesn't end after it comes out. If anything, it just increases. So like at this point now where you're at, you still have time to push it. You still have time to kind of tell that story. The fact that it's done like a couple 100,000 views on YouTube is a really, really good pitch point for you. Use that when you're telling the story to people. Use that when you're pitching it to anybody that you're talking to about it. That's a great way to bring it back. And then also at YouTube Music too. See if you can find the people who are focused on South Asian artists there and try and pitch to them, because the fact that it's growing and the view counts there gives you that kind of ammo that you need to pitch things. So just keep that stuff in mind. Like a lot of the pitching side of things is very data based. And like if you have the stats and you have the data to use in your favor, you should use them in your favor, because all it's going to do is give you more leverage and more strength when you're doing the pitch. A lot of times the thing that I've learned with pitching to people is like they want the data, right? Like the data is the thing that gives them the reason why they should support or why they can take a risk on something. Because for a lot of people, it is about metrics and it is about the results that you get from posting or supporting something. And like, if you support something and it doesn't do well, that reflects poorly on you. Flip side, if you support something and it does extremely well, that's also on you. So you just got to find those champions at the companies that are doing the playlisting. But I would say for you, a great place to start would be starting with those South Asian specific platforms. And honestly, labels, like even if you haven't connected with like fucking D36, I think they're called, but they do like, or even like Indify, like Shav, Pretty Boy Shav on Instagram. He runs a company called Indify. He's also South Asian. He supports a lot of South Asian artists like Code and like Curtis Waters and people like that too. So like, I would just try and use that to your advantage, bro. Like really start with that community first and foremost. Yeah, Shav's your boy. Look. This is what I'm talking about. So tap in with those people and be like, yo, like, do you know any platforms that support South Asian artists first and foremost? Because that's always a great way to just like get your community behind you and get them supporting you too, bro. So that'd be the best advice I could give you off rip. It go, Bree Style. Let us know what you think in the chat. We're going to keep things moving before I talk too much. All right, let us know what you think in the chat. We've had a lot of the bass being too loud tonight. In this situation, the bass is too quiet in this mix. The kick is kicking. And there's a lot of low end in the kick, but we're losing a lot of that bass. Like the delivery on this. Of course, thank you for the note. Freestyle.mp3 on Instagram. All that pressure you applying, he was bound to crack, and that's a damn shame, baby. Cause you're shining something that you can't change, baby. Energy is here. With your campaign, baby. Already order hookah and some champagne, baby. It's on the way, baby. So you can shake some. Do it, baby girl, like you trying to. Energy is really good in this. Vocal mix is actually really solid. It's the instrumental production mix that to me needs a little bit of work. And it's mostly in the balance, so they can really get that energy from it. Like we lose that rhythmic element, I think, in this mix in the beat. The melodic aspects are there and they cut through perfectly. But we're lacking that like knock that I feel like you need from this a little bit more. Especially because there's a lot of energy in those rhythmic elements in the production. Yeah, it's interesting because I can feel the sub. But it just feels so low at the same time. It's there. Vocals sound great though, and I will say, like, honestly, like even the delivery and the writing style, it feels very like early 2000s New York, like almost reminiscent of Eve in some ways. And I really like that aspect of it. Shout out to Mari Graham, who I think is singing on the chorus on this too. He did a really good job. It really does have that like early 2000s feel to it. Low-key could be like a Lotto song from this most recent album too. It's mostly for me where it needs to improve is just in the oh, that's your biggest female. I could tell that you listen to her, honestly. I think the flow is like super reminiscent of that era. It's catchy too. Honestly, it's a pretty catchy song. I really just think for me it's the balance in the production and the levels in the production that maybe lack a little bit. I'm gonna save it in this playlist. I'm gonna come back and listen to it next week before I make the content. It may or may not stay in the playlist, but I'm gonna run it back maybe on some different speakers and see how I feel about it. It could just be my my headphones too, but I think for me, the only real feedback that I have on this, because I really enjoyed the song itself, I think the biggest feedback that I have is mostly on the mix on the production and just making sure those rhythmic elements don't get lost or buried, because I do think that those parts kind of have that bounce. They bring that bounce to the forefront, and without that, you lose some of that really fun aspect of the production in the mix, and that's really it. Cam, I'm experimenting with releasing shortened versions of songs to DSPs and keeping the full versions on Bandcamp, Patreon, my website, etc. Also, I moved to... Yeah, I saw you move to Tokyo. Congratulations. That's very cool. Isn't it fucking mad late? It's like 7 in the morning right now for you, right? Bobby, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for sending music, bro. Have a good rest of your week. We are back on Thursday from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern Time, so maybe we'll see you then. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Cam, how's the move to Tokyo been? Please let us know in the chat. Yeah, absolutely, bro. Life happens 2 weeks at a time. This is the full version at 3 minutes. 8:20 a.m., so not too bad. All right, I love that. What have you been working on in Tokyo, bro? How's it been? I still haven't been, but I love Japan. I love Japanese culture and just the way societally that everybody is.
Living paycheck to paycheck, at least I got a paycheck.
And I thought the content you've been making about the move has also been really beautiful, just to tell your story a little bit more. Cam from the Coast on Instagram.
Somehow went from utility rent and car payments.
Yeah, this shit's hard, bro. Let us know what you think in the chat.
Sleeping out in broad daylight like it's a day.
Man, it's lit. They've been treating me wonderfully. I've been getting tapped in with the music scene here. I love that.
It didn't faze me. New barista at the cafe looking at me crazy, cause I'm looking homeless. I've been coming here for years. Now that's what you ordering.
Nice song cover. It is a really nice cover art. I like it too.
The gentrifies gays way I left like they deported them. Don't know if it's this or that.
I think for me, the only thing that I would say is probably the same thing I've been saying.
Ever since I left the city, I've been feeling dismissed.
I think there is a frequency in your vocal that you could EQ out a little bit. It's in that high mid-range. And there's just some transient sounds in there. That's really it.
I was a step away from a toe tag. Living paycheck to paycheck. At least I got a paycheck. I used to say that.
Overall, the delivery is really nice. I love the writing on it.
I don't rap, scam, clocked in and parlay. Somehow I went from utility rent and car payments to no food to eat, no crib to stay in.
I also think the transient sounds I hear are mostly on the S's.
All my faith was fading. I'd be lying if I said that
it's like on those plosive sounds, like the F's, the S's.
I didn't help the ones that saved me. Spend a black on the film, showing something foreign. Had to go around the country.
But I think your tone vocally and the delivery style you've nailed. Like you've got that so down. This is probably my favorite delivery from you. Oh, you have a lisp. That does make it harder. There are a couple artists that I've like dealt with in the past who have lisps, and it does make it a little bit harder on the mix. You either have to like just embrace it.
The phone is off, the lights is on, but not for long. Even at the darkest, I'ma write my brightest songs. Even though I'm living paycheck to paycheck, at least I got a paycheck.
I gotta say though, the delivery, the tone, like tonally on this one, is probably my favorite that I've heard from you so far. Cam from the Coast on Instagram. John, are you still in the chat, bro? I need you to resubmit this link whenever you get a chance. Oh, maybe it'll work by now. I don't know. We'll see. We'll check in a sec. Oh shit, we got a fucking Shelby Ruger and Destin Laurel song coming up next.
I prefer to call you when I got it. You ain't gotta call me, I call you. So what's up? I'm going through a lot right
Love the production on this too. Overall, I really like this one a lot, man. Honestly, it's probably one of my favorite songs that I've heard from you so far. Like as a full thing, and I do like that it's a little bit longer if I'm being honest. I don't think that a 3-minute and 14-second song is something that you shouldn't put out on streaming either. Like I usually would say like once it's over 3:30, that's maybe a bit longer. But like at around 3:14, 3:15, I think that's okay, bro. I think you could still put it out that way on streaming and it'd be fine. Even with that outro, it was nice. Me Bombaclat says, how does it feel to decide about people's future? I don't think that I do decide people's futures necessarily. It feels good to be able to impact them in some way, like when I do get to work with artists and like be a part of the story. I don't know that I'm necessarily deciding people's futures, though. I think that's maybe giving me a little bit too much credit than what I'm doing. In all honesty, Benji was good, bro. We're live on Twitch right now. Come hang out. This is a good mixture of between Earl and someone I can't think of. Yeah, it was really nice, man. Like Earl and Lupe. I used to get Lupe a lot from Cam when we listened to his music. Delivery is so good. The pacing is very smooth, but the enunciation have a lot of weight to them, says Steve O'Papa. Lots of things that I like. Full version is going to come out when I drop the album. I love it. All right, Cam from the Coast on that one. We've got one from Shelby Ruga and then an unreleased from John. A lot of unreleased tonight. This one's called Is You Down, Shelby and Destin Laurel. Both artists that I'm fans of, in all honesty. I like both of these artists a lot. We are coming up on our free bump from the chat section, though if you do want to guarantee you get played on stream, the best thing you can do is subscribe or gift a sub, and we'll get you bumped into this priority queue marked in orange. You got about 5 minutes to do that before we shut it down. Hey! Yes! Real Shelby Ruger on Instagram. Destin Laurel on Instagram. I'm a fan of both. Benji, just keep hitting refresh. It should work eventually. Sometimes it's just a little glitchy because Google stuff is trash. Baby, I got a two-seater. Hit it out the park, no cheater. I got no feedback. Cam says this got me dancing. I'm hearing that spray, let's go. No, we out the door soon. I can't wait no more. Love is just me and you. Is you down tonight? Come and make my night. This is fire, bro. Is you down tonight? Baby, no outside. As always, Shelby Ruger not disappointing. Not one bit. Real Shelby Ruger on Instagram. Destin Laurel, right here. You guys, great chemistry. Is that Shelby she don't miss? It is Shelby, and I agree, she does not miss. John says stuff to follow right after. Don't feel that way, because you also make great music. Chemistry on this one is great. You guys have a great back and forth. I like this one. I like this a lot. You've been going crazy with these features recently, too. First we had Balaji. Now we got Destin Laurel. What's next? Destin's also been a sleepy good run the past year. So fact, I've really been enjoying Destin Laurel's music over the last year or so. But this one's a vibe, bro. This is that late night grown music right here. I love how like R&B this is. Like, not that your other stuff isn't R&B, but I feel like sometimes it dips into soul and less like contemporary, like what you would hear on like R&B radio or something like that, or in some of these R&B playlists. And to me, that one feels so contemporary and good. Destin does go insane, man. That was a really cool one. I really like that a lot. Thank you so much for sending it in and giving us an early listen. This is John with the one. I like that you've used this bowling picture. For anybody who's never watched professional bowling on ESPN or whatever, you should try one time. It's absurd. They get so fucking into it. It's crazy. Also, just random side thought. I watched the Daryl Dixon Walking Dead show recently on Netflix, and you should all watch that too if you like The Walking Dead. It's maybe the only spinoff that's worth it. John, what are you talking about, bro? This is just 5. John 3 p.m. on Instagram. This is a vibe too. What is this sports quote, Cam? You gotta let me know. I need to know what it is. You have knowledge I don't have, and I need it. I fuck with this, bro. John 3 p.m. on Instagram. Shit is just so smooth. We got another free bump coming up from the submission form after this. Last call if you do want to subscribe or gift a sub to guarantee you get played on stream today. Now is the last call. Who do you think you are? I am. Oh, that's him? I'm dead, bro. I've seen that quote. Vibes. Vibes. I partially produced it. What do you mean you partially produced it? Who's getting the free bump? Y2 Rios. You are getting bumped up for free. Let's see what's good. First song I ever dropped on all platforms just a few months back. Looking for any possible feedback, especially on the mixing. Thank you. Did the drums. The drums felt nice. Rhythmically, it was a really good thing, bro. I liked it. This is his first artist's first release ever. Pauly G. Ironically, my favorite pizza shop in my neighborhood. Y2 Rios. Y2 Rios.
Pauly G, baby, the young prodigy. And fuck the modesty, spit the shit that you gotta see. Or should I say that? You gotta hear love. I got that shit that's gonna get us out of here, dog. To a different lifestyle. I'm talking about the
I mean, look, first song ever. I'm not that mad at it. The mix is, there's not really
and everyone will go
a ton on the mix that I have feedback on, honestly. The vocal could be a little bit less squashed. It does feel like a little squashed into a specific frequency. You could open that up a little bit. My biggest feedback is probably on delivery and just working that out, but I do think that that's one of those things where you just have to make a lot of music and practice recording yourself a lot. It's pretty chill. I mean, lyrically, there are things that could improve too, but again, I think that's something that just comes with practice and making more songs. Beat choice is nice. Let us know what you think in the chat. For first song ever dropped, it's really not shocking. Like, I feel like I've heard a lot of like shocking first releases ever. Y2 Rios on Instagram. But the things that I would work on are delivery. In the vocal mix, I would open it up a little bit just to get some more of those nice tones in your voice. I feel like it's kind of squashed. But overall, I mean, look, like I've heard some, and I'll just say it now, like I've heard some shocking debuts. So don't feel too bad about it. Like, it was actually not bad. But I do think the things to work on would really just be the things that I would tell anyone to work on, and that is songwriting, that is delivery and tone, and really dialing that in. I don't know that you found your sound yet, but I do like that you've approached it from that underground soul sample based hip hop kind of thing. And I do think it's a good fit for your voice, but I do think that the vocal mix could be a little bit wider, and there could be a little bit more depth and body in it than there is. So those are the things that I would focus on. I don't think he's in here right now, though, so you might not see it. For first song ever, it's not bad, honestly. Presence is kind of lacking, and pacing is squashed, but you do have the ear for the pocket. I see exactly where you want to be in the music. That all kinds of... Yeah, exactly. That's the exact same way I feel, Steve O'Papa. It's just a matter of time and just working on it. Study some of your favorites and figure out what makes them great and what you can learn from since Check the Rhyme. That's a fact. And I think that's it. It's just being a student of the game and continuing to work at it, continuing to record songs, trying different pockets, trying different mixes, playing with your voice a little bit. But I think that's all stuff that just comes with time and comes with making music. So just keep doing it. But a really solid, like, first attempt at releasing a song. And you've started now, so get ready for the roller coaster that comes with it. Tragic by Shelby Ruger up next. And then we're going to get into some free bumps after this. So if you are in the chat, make sure you submit your music in the Google form. And, well, I guess sorry. We're going to bring this back to the beginning. So while we're listening to this song, if you are in the chat, please make sure you put your artist name in the chat right now. I'll bump people up into this free queue. And that's it. For the rest of the stream, we'll do free bumps. If you're on Instagram, you got to put it on Twitch, otherwise I'm not going to see it. Don't be afraid to keep sharing your music. It takes a lot of courage. Exactly. It takes a lot of courage to share your music, period. All right? You didn't yet. We're about to do free bumps right now, so put your artist name in the chat if you're here. This is Tragic by Shelby Ruger. Still let us know what you think in the chat. But we're going to do free bumps for the rest of the stream.
Tragic. I done fell in love with a bad bitch.
Shelby, you are in your bag right now. This is going on the EP too.
Tragic.
You are truly in your bag. Yeah, I got you already. You were already that pale blue.
She claimed my heart, left the baggage. All that kind that you did.
I mean, honestly, like, I know I said this like years ago, but the songwriting for me is like the biggest standout for you. It's like every time you send a song in, I love the writing on it. This is a cool switch up in the production too, honestly. I don't know that I was expecting it to go that way.
Told me I ain't have to worry about them. Told me that y'all wasn't even that close.
Yeah, when does the EP drop? October, right?
You got me doing the most.
I will definitely be supporting whenever it comes out. Again, if you're in the chat and you got a song for me that you want to bump up, just let me know your artist name in the chat. Benji, I see you on the gram, but I'm gonna bump you up there.
Tragic. I done fell in love with a bad bitch. She a savage. The way she broke my heart and left the baggage. Tragic.
EP comes out in October, so make sure you go follow at Real Shelby Ruger on Instagram. Just different. Seriously. One of the things I really like about Shelby's music is she does play with different pockets rhythmically, different like delivery styles, and just really uses a vocal to really like the most like that she can. It's great. Real Shelby Ruger on Instagram. You have to go follow. Seriously, you will not be disappointed. Obviously, what you've heard here is solid, but just know that the rest that you will hear is also really fire. All right, we're getting into our free bump section of the stream. I think we'll maybe get through everybody. We have about 25 minutes left. We are going to go on a raid after we get done, so stick around even if we do play your music, because I will take you somewhere else where you can send your music to another music streamer and get feedback and get all kinds of support, hopefully, and get playlisted and get heard, okay? But if you are here in the chat and you have not put your artist name in the chat yet, make sure you do. Even if you've been played today, even if you've submitted today, you can submit again. And we'll bump some people up from the chat. Plague, OTW, shot a music video with some baby goats and dropped the music video today. Submitted. What's your artist name? Let me know. And we'll bump you up into the priority queue. John Phelps. Beautiful. Yeah, if you are in the chat, you want to get bumped up for free, put your artist name in the chat right now. We're going to do about a minute of each of these songs, just so we can get through as many as possible. So if you do have multiple, you can send multiple. It's up to you. I'm not mad. This is Pale Blue with Flutter. I really like this artist a lot. And I'm just going to say that right now. I'm also going to bump this Kirk song up because he reached out to me on social the other day. He's been going through a really tough time, so I want to make sure we play this song while he's not here, but I want to play it for him. Let us know what you think in the chat. I like this. I mean, I've liked everything you sent in, but I like this type of music in general too, so this is getting saved. Production's really cool. Sosa Baby says Mate says love the groove. Sosa Baby says I like this, to be fair, it's different. For those of you who just chimed in the chat, we are doing free bumps for the rest of the stream, so if you have a song you want to get bumped up, put your artist name in the chat right now and we'll bump you up for free. New EP came out last week. Make sure you put your EPs in the release calendar before they come out, guys, so I can support. I like this, to be fair. Started as a joke, just freestyling over video game sounds, but turned into something unique for me. I really like it. It is unique for you. Hey Pale Blue on Instagram. Already following because I'm a fan, so make sure you get in there and go follow too. Benji, I already put you in there, bro. I saw you on the gram and I was like, fuck it, we're gonna get him. I know I said I was only going to do a minute, but that one just had such a groove to it. That song was called Flutter by Pale Blue with a period at the end. Make sure you go tap in. Mates have. Did you send a song in? Do you have a song? Do you want me to bump it up? I wasn't sure. Yeah, bro. Really, really cool. I like that one a lot. All right, this next one's from an artist named Cook. He hit me up the other day, and he's just going through some like really tough health issues. So first things first, I do just want to wish him a healthy and speedy recovery. We want to send love from the community, man. We hope you heal. This song is called Still the Same. It's by an artist named Cook. So let's check it out. Let us know what you think in the chat. All right. I love this sample flip already. I think I've heard this sample before. It sounds really familiar. This is also self-produced.
To that same motherfucker, drive a car straight from my mama and it's paid off. Acting like you got it, man. You lucky we ain't stopping from the faking. Yeah, it's crazy.
I am gonna add this to the playlist. I do think that the vocal could be slightly louder in this one.
And I ain't sorry for it. If you got a problem or a question, it ain't worth exploring. Hand up for survival, I'll admit it. You ain't worth supporting. Not to push the issue, what I promise.
Delivery is really solid, though. Solid vocal delivery, solid rhythmic delivery. I think those are the two things in the past I've maybe like mentioned to him as things that could improve. Hellblue said, bro, this beat is hard. Look, if you're fucking with this man, go give Cook some love, bro. He needs some love. He needs some support right now. He's going through some tough, like, just health shit, and that's always hard. So if you like this, make sure you go follow It's Cook Music. Make sure you go support. The song's called Still the Same. You can find it in the songs we found on Twitch playlist as well, okay? But Cook, whenever you see this, this is probably one of my favorite ones that we've heard from you so far. It feels the most polished. I think the beat is really hard. The sample flip is really good. The only thing that I could say is that I wish the vocal was slightly louder. just so it really cuts through, because I think when that sample flip comes in and that beat drops in, that's the thing that really dominates the ears overall. But the vocal delivery is really strong, and rhythmically it's really good. So I do think, of the things we've heard from you so far, this is probably my favorite. But if I had any feedback, it would just be to cut the vocals up a tiny bit. If you're with us on Instagram, come join us on Twitch. And if you are in the chat and you want to get bumped up for free, put your artist name in the chat right now. We are doing free bumps for the rest of the stream. We got Jordan Paradise up next. Old song I released, but this one's vibey. Be the best you can be. Let us know what you think in the chat. We're going to keep things moving. And yeah, if you haven't joined the Discord yet, make sure you join the Discord. Our community playlist is back open. You can submit for that for free. And go follow us on Kayvan's House on Instagram as well, where we'll be recapping all the stuff that we find, not only here on the stream, but also in the Discord community too, with playlists, content, all kinds of things, and all of those opportunities are free. All right?
Late nights chilling with the homies. Same vibe, take flight, brothers get stony. Red light, green light.
Jordan Paradise out of the Bay Area, but now in Guam? You're like an artist in Guam, right? Yeah. I remember things, guys. Beats a vibe. I would say still work on delivery. Not mad at it lyrically. It's actually quite Saipan. Yeah, Guam. Saipan is Guam though, right? That is true. That's where it is. Near Guam, not in Guam. I think because of you though, there were a bunch of like artists from Guam who started popping up in our community. So I started getting a bunch of people who were like from Guam submitting music for things. So shout out to you, because it can't be anything else. I've never ever in my life heard of another artist from Guam or near to Guam. It has to be you that's bringing the artist from that area in. So thank you. So thank you for extending our community to those chain of islands, man. I do appreciate it. All right, for me, on that, right? Definitely vibey on the beat. Biggest thing that I could say is just keep working on the delivery, and then also in the vocal mix, work on widening that up so we can get more of the body in the vocal as well. Sifa. This one's from Check the Rhyme. Let us know what you think in the chat. This is that Bay Area sound right here, bro. Is he from the Bay? I'm already following him. I think you might have sent him in before, and I really enjoyed him. Sepha, like Jeff? Sepha. Oh, I like his Sega t-shirt, his Sega Sepha t-shirt. That's kind of hard. We still here. He's from Sac, down the street from the house. I love it. I love his voice. Learned the game. Used to be hazy, but now I feel like my vision cool. Working on checks with principal and residuals. Look at me, you gon' see a solid individual. 2916, cause I'm a north side baby. A north side baby. I love the accent, bro. Nipsey type voices, Jordan Paradise. Yeah, definitely. I fuck with that. Go follow him on Instagram, Sepha M on Instagram if you're rocking with that one. Samoan, born and raised in North Sacramento. That's fire. I don't know that I've heard many Samoan artists in general, or rappers for sure too. So that kind of stands out. I like that. Hugh G up next. Hugh says, I plan on dropping this soon. All right, it's called Piece of Cake. Let us know what you think in the chat. We're going to keep things moving. Again, if you're in the chat right now and you want to get bumped up for free, drop your artist name in the chat. We are doing free bumps for the rest of the stream. Of course. Let us know what you think in the chat. Islanders all around. Look, I'm with it.
Living in the dojo, kicking this shit, going postal like I'm supposed to. Stewart passed it, Tony
I like
Romo,
this.
And I'm smoking it. Hardly do the photo, still I'm snapping on a dolo, on the lolo, working on this.
Hugh G on Instagram.
Like, oh no, grinding for this paper, man. I'm really chopping wood. Got a couple splinters, pulled them out.
You can submit
nigga,
another. That's fine. We still got like 16 minutes.
Always back home. Gotta get this cake, baby. You know how it goes.
Hey.
Life sweet with a piece of cake. Stuck a fork in it, feel like it's my birthday. Hotter than the oven that I bake with. Smells so amazing. Yeah, so
This is a very whimsical song. I like how whimsical it is.
Stuck a fork in it, feel like it's my birthday. Hotter than the oven that I bake with.
I would have to be in the right mood to listen to this.
Yeah, so amazing. Always in the office like the white, I light up in the night, illuminated.
But it also might put me in a better mood. I kind of like this.
Take the mic jack and make a jam like Heavy D.
It's a fun listen. That one's a fun listen. I really don't have too much feedback on it. I do actually just enjoy it. I like the sound overall. There's maybe moments in the delivery that could be a little bit stronger on certain words, certain phrases, but like it's very, very small things. For the most part, I do actually really enjoy the energy on that. Culmination, Connor Helm up next. Let us know what you think in the chat. Sent us a YouTube link the first time. I mean, that's fine. Actually, you could have. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not the biggest fan of a slow fade in, so just keep that in mind. It's misleading as a listener. Sometimes I don't like it when my shit gets louder, and I've already turned my shit up, and then it's super loud. But that's neither here nor there. That's very picky of me. Oh, I liked Pumpkin Spice that you did with LOE Gino. So Okada must be a producer then, right? If there is no vocal on this, then it's fine. If there is a vocal on this, this is an extremely long intro. And that's maybe the only thing that I would say is maybe cut this intro down a little bit. Connor Helm 1. I think this might be just the instrumental, though. Is Emery a saxophonist? Is that what's happening? As a beat, this goes crazy. This is a very, like, Kendrick, Untitled, Unmastered type instrumental. Like, I need, like, jazz raps on this. You know what I mean? I need to link with this dude. I got some bars for this. Shroob, what's good, my dude? How's Tor, Bren, bro? Check the rhymes. This is crazy. I was just about to say, loving you is complicated. Yeah, this is a very, like, Terrace Martin coded, Kendrick Untitled, Unmastered kind of vibe. I mean, I love it. I don't think it needs any sort of beat drop in it. Like, the sax mixed with the sample and kind of the choir sound on this is great. Shaloob, if you have a song, we're doing free bumps for the rest of the stream right now, so feel free to submit. And then also just let me know when you put it in there. Yeah, this one's crazy. Definitely go follow him if you're looking for a producer to work with. Connor_Helm1 on Instagram. Did some work with LOE Gino that I really, really enjoyed too. We've got M-Age up next. This one's called Robin. Fucking hate Google Drive links. Let's see if it works. Let us know what you think in the chat. Wait, what did you just submit? Shlooby Dooby Doo. Did you not submit Shloob? Because I don't see it. Let me know what you submitted. Oh, you sent me Gunsmoke, right? I got you. I see your Instagram. Alright, let us know what you think in the chat. Lyrically, this could use some work. I kind of like where this goes at this point. M._.age. I think before we get into this crazy, like, edited vocal, it could use a little bit of work, but once it gets into this vocal part, it goes kind of crazy. All of this is sick. I think maybe the opening was not as strong as when you get to this part. Kick is maybe a bit too loud just with the balance of the rest of the production. Where are you from? Because you definitely have an accent. Good shuffle on this is Blake. Yeah, there are definitely things I like about it. Meisterschaft, are you German? I love this distorted, like, wide sung vocal part. This part's great. I'm going to give you a little bit of a passive English is not your first language on lyrics. But this part is crazy. Like, these moments are insane. I would lean into more of this. This is so unique. Like, this gated vocal is crazy. I think for me, it's just a little bit more balance between, especially the vocal and the production. The lyrics use a little bit of work, though. If English is not your first language, like I said, I'm going to give you a bit of a pass. You're from the Czech Republic, and the vocals from French. Have him sing in French. But it was dynamic as fuck. It's very cool. Czechia. Sorry, not the Czech Republic. Czechia. Sensory Overload. Go Sosa. Let us know what you think in the chat. I fuck with this, bro. Made this on BandLab. No mixing, no mastering, just vibes. I like that. Bo_Sosa. Also a gunner. Come on, you gunners, bro. Of course. Mates, I actually really enjoyed that. Please continue to send us music. Join the Discord if you haven't. And send us some more stuff, because I would love to keep up. This is a fucking vibe. For BandLab, this is crazy. I love this. It's not a sensory overload either. Like, I don't feel like... Sometimes I'll be listening to shit and it definitely feels like a sensory overload. This is the perfect balance. And this sounds great for BandLab. Shloop says this is hard. I agree. If you want to follow the artist, it's Bo_Sosa on Instagram. BEAU_Sosa. 2 A's. Out of the UK, I'm assuming. Let me know if you're not. This just looks like a typical English backyard, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, cold. I think that's what we're going with still. No one pour me a fucking drink, man.
I like that a lot. I have no feedback on that one. Maybe a little bit, like maybe just a little bit of mixing, like when you get a chance, just to make sure that those layers kind of like fit and aren't like, you know, one thing louder than the other. But overall, I like that. Singing in the Rain, Benji, out of Toledo, Ohio. Let us know what you think in the chat. We have about 8 minutes left. We're going to go on a raid after that. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 more songs. Hard, especially for BandLab, I agree.
Shit.
I like this beat choice.
Stronger than ever, if you ask me.
Not Spillage Village, Benji. This is Benji Official 1 out of Toledo, Ohio.
Look.
Just a throwaway, but I like the song, bro.
Hey, hate to see you going, hope to see you once again. I got a long life, but will I see you in the end? Cause nothing's guaranteed, I learned that life is full of sin. But staying pure is the greatest battle that I'm in. Is there a cure for all of that pain we holding in? Above it all, like
I mean, first bit of feedback is that the vocal needs to come up in this mix a little bit, right? It gets a little buried behind the instrumental at times. Lyrics could use a little bit of work, but I think that's just going to come with continuing to write. 5 monthly listeners. You're pretty early on as far as releases go. You've done what, like 5 songs? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the first thing you've released, second thing you've released in 2024. So I just keep working on the lyric side of things, right? Delivery-wise, you've got a pretty solid voice. I want to hear a little bit more conviction, a little bit more emotion in the delivery. It can get a little flat at times throughout. It's really chill, so if that is what you're going for, then don't feel like you need to change it for me. If you're going for like a Black Sam kind of, you know, really like low-key vibe, then that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. The biggest thing for me is bringing that vocal mix up, though, so that the vocal is the star in it. Right now, the instrumental kind of overpowers it a touch. All right, this is Ahi Brain Tickler Plague remix. A little dubstep for you guys before we get done. Let us know what you think in the chat. Like I said, we got 3 more songs. We're going to go raid somebody on Twitch in the music community after that, so you guys can send your music somewhere else as well, okay? Sound design on this is really good. Underscore plague underscore. I like the synths on this. I do feel like the rhythmic elements could use a little bit more presence in the mix overall. It's very heavily on the sub and on that bass sound, but then those drum sounds kind of get lost in the back. And I will say the drum sounds feel a little bit more stock than I would like as well. So maybe a little bit more processing on some of those drum sounds and rhythmic elements. The synth work is fantastic though. And I will say, I'm not the biggest dubstep listener. Like, I did listen to a lot of dubstep back in the early days of it because I'm older. But in 2024, not the biggest dubstep listener. But I do even think, like, when we think about, like, some of, like, the pioneers, I think, of dubstep and maybe the way they approach, especially the mixing on, like, the rhythmic elements, like the drums and stuff like that. I think there are a lot of times where you can add those, like, details in there that will keep things interesting and add a little bit more variation, and that's probably what I feel like is lacking from the more rhythmic elements of the production. Again, the synth elements I think you did a great job on, and there's a lot of really cool details in there, but I think it's making sure that some of those rhythmic elements really match up with that, and some of those details, like those little drops, those little, like, fills and things like that you would hear on maybe, like, a... Like, I feel like fucking... I'm trying to think of somebody who does a really good job of that. I mean, like, Skrillex is maybe the easy option to say, but if you go listen to some of the older Skrillex stuff, right, like, I think that's what he does really well, is, like, some of those little details that, like, really keep your brain being like, holy fuck, where did that come from? That's sick. So that would be the feedback that I would probably give to that. But the synth work was great. John Phelps, Deep End. This is a vertical music video with goats. Let us know what you think in the chat. Things are hella cute, man. I gotta say, I do love a goat.
Just trying to find out where we belong.
I wish, to me, I think the vocal mix on this is probably the thing that needs the most work. I see what you're going for. I don't know if the execution is quite there yet.
Because I need it that way. And all the loudest voices.
Like, I think you need a lead vocal that's in there in this mix that doesn't have that effect on it. I agree it's a vibe, but I think with the effect that's happening on all of the vocals, there's not really that present vocal in the front. I think the way that it sounds would be great if that was the layer that was happening on the back of the lead, with the lead being a little bit more present in the mix. But without that presence of the lead vocal in the mix, you almost lose the vocal a little bit more behind the effect and behind the instrumental. So that would be the suggestion that I would give. It is a vibe overall, and I think I like it. My biggest thing, though, is that I wish there was just, like... Oh, see, it comes in here with this, like, higher register one that kind of pushes through a little bit and gives you the presence on the lead vocal. I just wish that was happening throughout the verse as well. It's a vibe otherwise. I think that's the only thing that I hear, though, really, that could be, like, slightly, just a little bit more polished, is, like, having that kind of punch through. I'm going to play this video from Shloop. This one comes out on Friday. If you haven't heard of Shloop, man, I fuck with this artist. Like, I just am really, like, a fan of his music. I'm a fan of his whole vibe. Like, dude makes cool shit. He's got good style. Production is always hard. I don't know if 2 for 1 produced this one, but we listened to some 2 for 1 the other day, and that shit was hard too. So
middle fingers to the air, give a fuck less. Good weed in my blunt, give a fuck less.
The Cybertruck.
All these lame niggas upset. Got a whiff in the club, all this gun smoke. I ain't really trying to die.
This is hard, bro.
Long hair, fine shit like Rapunzel. She don't take cash out, only one Zell. Couple shots in my body, do a front flip. Black hair, black boots, she a punk bitch. Big booty, pretty face,
hard.
Good time. VIP getting high, you can smell me. Sipping water between shots, staying healthy. Trying to get wealthy.
Is this video coming out Friday too?
I see you, nigga, seafood. Trying to sit up on an M like a V-suit. Throw a show in your city, come see.
Yeah, I'll pull up the list of songs, but I'll also drop all the socials in the Discord when I'm done. This is Shloop. I'll pull up the socials in a second. Are you still on tour with YTK, or are you done? He was just on tour with YTK, though. There's another artist I was supporting years ago who I really like. This drops Thursday. Singles on Friday. I fuck with this, bro. Just hit me on Friday to remind me so I can make sure I put this in the playlist. I think I'll see it, but I like this. This is a fun little one. Last show this weekend with YTK, so if you do get a chance to catch him live, make sure you go do it. I'm actually a little tight that I missed it, because I'm a YTK fan as well, but he's got a bunch of shows coming up. Shloob, SHL0 or OOB, not zero, OOB on Instagram. Shlooby Dooby Doo is also a hilarious username on Twitch, and Shloobit is the website. So I fuck with this dude. Honestly, you gotta go check it out. September 27th, also performing and opening up for Juvenile, Manny Fresh, which is super hard in Louisville, Kentucky. So if you are there, but yeah, last show of this tour with YTK coming up this weekend. So make sure you tap in. Why are we not following you on Instagram? I don't know, but we're gonna change that. That was Gunsmoke. Comes out on Friday. We are technically at the end of stream. I was gonna play this last one from Jordan, but Sea Dreams you've submitted, so I'm going to bump this Sea Dreams one up, Jordan, and we'll play that instead, and then we'll go. This is Sea Dreams with Desire. And then I'm going to take you guys on a raid, so we're going to go raid somebody else in the Twitch music space. It's okay, though, if you have music coming out, make sure you hit the release calendar, send your stuff in there, alright? It looks like we're probably going to go raid our boy, Big Duck. The largest duck on Twitch. I mean, I'm glad we pulled up this one last. I like this. This is a vibe. Just a couple last things. Again, shout out to Solomon Heaton, who won our competition for the performance slot in New York around Digilog Week. If you are interested in going to Digilog Days or Digilog Week in New York, we'll put a discount code for tickets, which will get you a 25% discount on tickets in the Discord as well this week. Real Sea Dreams on Instagram. Make sure you go tap in. We're probably gonna go raid Big Duck. Though maybe we should go raid the Baby Blade right now. Let's go. We're gonna go raid the Baby Blade after this. Duck always gets the raid. Let's take it somewhere else. But like I said, community playlist is back open now in the Discord. It's free to submit. Go submit your music there. I'll be listening to all your submissions. Use the release calendar if you have releases coming out this week. I'll be tapping in with those as well. And we're gonna go hit this raid. All right. I'm gonna get on a panel next year for Digilog. I will try. I will definitely try. So yeah, make sure you tap in with all those things. Lots of free opportunities coming your way as well. Make sure you send me your music. I'm gonna leave with that. Let's put some music on to play us out. Maybe I'll give you guys a little preview. We've got this 11/11 freestyle coming from Ashoka on Friday. I've got new Vera coming out next week as well. But here, I'll leave you with this. We've also got Anton Now's email. Yes, you can rewatch the stream. It'll be up tomorrow on my YouTube channel, which is just KayvanMD as well. And that will be live tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Eastern time. So make sure you go check that out. Join the Discord. There'll be a link in there for you as well. This drops on Friday from Ashoka, who's one of my clients on distro and management. We're going to go hit this raid. Thank you guys for an amazing stream. We're back on Thursday from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern time. So make sure you check in on the schedule. And we'll see you then, all right? Come on this raid with us.
Seconds left, my favorite time. I love the pressure, only true enhancer on my state of mind. Life is not a studio session, no, you can't pay for time. But I know some niggas that will pay for bottles before they pay a fine. Am I the judge? Joe? What? No, like institutionalized, feeling I'd have been here before. And I'm just trying to climb the rope and throw it down. It's called a pipeline for me and all my niggas from the town. Hope that's the type of shit that they remember.
Come on the raid, come on the raid.
To a hoe, but trust I'm selfish to my bro. Feel like it was just November, it's about to be October. All the time, don't never stop. My sips and water make it slow. And I heard a few got popped.
All right, I'll see you guys later on this week. Have a good rest of your week.
Anything in these streets. They
Peace.
just feeling for a shot like the vaccine running out. Just like Gwen Stefani, he gon' go bananas with no doubt. Check it, hear me out. They will drop me before I drop it. That was gon' scare me out. That only prepared me to reload, spin back at it out. I done that the biggest names of rap without fanning out. It's more the person, the code, the morals that I care about. Fat ass, brown skin, had my heart teared out. God. No clothes on, but she know I'm about to wear it out. Yeah. Let me stop, man. Let me stop.